Hey guys, welcome back to another video. So in today's video we would be discussing a scenario that is the two sum problem. So basically what is that? So you are given an array of integer, that is said the name is nums, and an integer target. Return the indices of two numbers such that they add up to the target. Okay, you may also assume that each input would have exactly one solution and you may not use the same element twice. You could return the answer in any order. So basically what does that mean is, guys, let us say there is an input of 2, 7, 11 and 15. Okay, so now the target is 9. So what is the possible output is like 2 plus 7 is 9. So the output is 0 and 1. Okay, and in this we could not use an element twice. Like if we say there was a number, let us say instead of 9 there was 10, and um, in here we could have other numbers as well, like 5 and 8. Okay, so we could not return 5 and 5. That means the index of 5 and 5, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. That is 4 and 4. Since we are returning the index, so we have to return the first index and the last index. So that is the meaning in here, that we could not use duplicates or an element twice. So the explanation is quite straightforward. That is the num at 0 plus the number at 1 adds up to 9. So we are returning the 0 and 1. Okay, so now let us see how we could code this in Apex. So moving over to our developer console. So guys, in here I have created a class named toSum. So I'm taking the previous example I discussed in the presentation, that is the 2, 7, 11, 15 and 10, and my target value is 9 that I want. So the result, it should return me 0 and 1, or it should return me 1 or 0, because it does not matter the order in which our result appears, because ultimately we have to get the result. So I'm creating a method in here, that is public static list of integer. You could have a void method as well, but for your sake of understanding I am creating a method with the name uh, uh, to some method, and I would be taking list of integer nums and integer target. And now what we would be doing is, since num is our array, and now first we would be thinking about the naive approach, that we could think as a brute force solution, you could say. So what could I think here is of the two for loops. How? See, for integer I is equal to 0, I is less than uh, nums dot size and I plus plus, and for integer j is equal to I plus 1, j is less than nums dot size and j plus plus. So my I starts from 2 to 10 and my j would start from 7 to 10. Okay, so now I would say if nums dot get I plus nums dot get j is equal to target. So what I would be doing is, uh, in this I would be returning new integer array, and this array would contain I and j, that is the indices, like 0, 1 and 1, 0, as discussed in here. Okay, so this would be your if loop, that if it comes to true, else what you would be doing is you would be returning new list of integer, or you would return simply integer array of empty. Okay, or you could return null. So let us test this. So this is my integer array, that is 2 7 11 2 22. Either you could take 15 and 10 as well. So my target value is 9. So now I would be printing my result that it is displaying. So executing this. Okay, method does not exist, sorry. Actually I wrote the wrong method in here. To some method. So going again. So debug only is 0 and 1, because at the 0 and first position is our method. Okay, so this way we created our method. So guys, what is the time complexity for this method? So let us see in here that this I goes from 1 to n. Okay, and the inner array. So if we say that there are n number of variables that it needs to go through, so the time complexity would be n. And for this, first we are having the outer for loop. So the outer for loop has a time complexity of n, and this loop is also goes to n number of positions. So the total time complexity in here goes to n cross n, that is n square. So that is not a very good approach that you could say. Another approach that could be thought here is to optimize the current scenario. So what we could see is here there are two for loops. What if we could have a map in here? Okay, and how we could have a map is, see, public static list of integer uh, to sum with map, and in here I would be having the same parameters, nums, and so now what we would be doing is, like in here what we created is this for loop. So instead of creating a for loop, what we would be creating a map of integer and, just a second, integer and integer, nums map is equal to new map of integer and integer. Okay, so now you have successfully created a map, and now you will loop through all the variables or all the positions in the array. So for integer I equal to 0, I is less than nums dot size, so and I plus plus. Okay, and now what you would be doing is, uh, in here you would be let us say this is a plus b gets to your result. So we could say is a is equal to result minus b. That can be said. So we could say is integer uh, number is equal to target minus nums dot get I. Okay, so in here you are getting this number, that is the a number. So now you would check, like if your nums map dot contains key, what is the key, is num, so you would be returning new integer array of uh, nums dot get uh, nums dot get what okay, num and the I. So let me explain you what is it is going through. So in our first for loop, it is doing the if condition. Else what it would do is it would increment your map. Nums map dot put key would be nums dot get no nums at I, and the ith variable would be the key. And uh, if everything uh, runs and we do not find anything in our map, what we would be doing is we would be returning the result, that is the null result. So return new integer array, empty array. Okay, so it is done. To sum with map is the name, and I'm passing the same array, executing debug only. So 11 and 1. Okay. So guys, in here what was the thing that we were doing wrong is we were returning from the array, but we had to return from the map. So that's why, because in our map what we are doing is we are storing the uh, array and the index. So array is the key and the index is the value. So we are getting the value from the key, that is the index. So that is the approach of your map. So how much time did this take? So this is the linear time complexity. How because this for loop, if there are n number of elements in your array, so this would be running for just n times. So the entire time complexity would be O of n. So that is considered as the uh, good time complexity. So these were the two methods that you could implement in here. Another method that we could think of here is like, I would not be implementing that, but yeah, just I would be telling you that what could be the approach for that method, is that we could sort the array. So now we are having the array like smallest first and the largest last, like 1 2 3 4, in this way. So this is our array. So we could have two counter variables, that is at the first and last position. Okay, and we could check that either if we add the first and the last position, how our result varies, like if the first plus last is less than our result, so we should increase the first counter, like we should increase this one, or if it is greater than our result, so we should decrease this. Okay, like uh, like we want 3, so first variable should be at here, last should be at here. So since first plus last is greater than, like see, 1 plus 888 is greater than 3, so what we would be doing is last minus minus. So now your last would be, first would be 1 and last would be 7 7. Again this would be greater, so this would be 1 and 6, thereafter 1 and 5, thereafter 1 and 4, thereafter 1 and 2. We would be finding the actual result. So this way we could use this method, but since we would be using a sort, so time complexity would also apply to here. It would not be as bad as compared to your n square or big O of n square, but yes, it would be counted and it would be not as appropriate as this we created with map. But yes, as per the interview point of view or as per your learning point of view, you should be open to possibilities like what you could think about and how you could approach to a particular solution. So I hope that you understood today's video, and if you are having any doubts, do comment down below. I would be happy to solve your queries. Thanks for watching and happy coding.